Hello. Hello,
Excellent,
Mr. Miguel.
excellent,
How
Jose.
are you?
Welcome. Fine, and you?
Very good, thank you
Excellent, Jose. So
for
tell me,
asking.
Jose, how has your week going?
Yep.
Jose, what are your classes? How are your classes going? How are you? What are
This
the
week
classes
was a
going?
little bit rushed because of the long weekend, and we have like evaluations and the review.
Okay,
So it
okay.
was a little bit like a little bit rushing because we have to cover all the topics that students had still doubts about it,
Very
and to creating for Google formularios to create the exam,
very good.
so on. Yeah,
Did you
but
work
it was okay.
did you work on Monday?
Sorry?
Did you work on Monday? Did you work last Monday?
No, I didn't.
Ah, okay, great. So
Um,
how did you cover the topics that you were supposed to teach on Monday?
I did it in one class. I did it like I took it like like I mixed them. I had to
Ah,
mix
okay,
them
okay. Ah, okay.
together in the same class, and also I
Ah,
have
okay.
to leave them homework for the weekend.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a good idea because I also have classes on Monday. When I had classes on Monday, but I worked, but I didn't think of that plan. Okay, to just to recover the classes, having the two topics in one class or giving them extra homework. That's a good strategy. Yeah,
yeah,
excellent, very good. Okay, excellent.
yeah. Otherwise, I couldn't cover everything. Yeah, to be
Exactly,
on time to the according to the schedule.
exactly. Very good. Okay. Well, and do you work for any other school?
Yes, I work for a school face to face on the weekends. Actually,
Yes, on Saturdays.
later than on Saturday morning.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Wonderful. Very good. Hello, Manuel. Good afternoon, Manuel. How are you? Are you muted, Manuel, or we cannot hear you, or something happened with your microphone?
Is is it right
There
now?
you are. Excellent, Manuel. So, Manuel, tell us, Manuel, how was your week?
Okay. Um, give me a second, please. I'm sorry.
Very good, very good.
Give me a second.
Very good. Yes, good. Excellent. Very good. And Jose, what about your class, Jose? Have you had all of your students, or have some students drop the classes?
I think it's not the same number. Most of them like been having issues along the course, even from the beginning, because some of them started like one class
Good.
and they disappear. They also like type their number ID, but
Exactly.
uh, but they don't connect to the classes. I don't know.
Exactly. That also happens to me. Exactly. I have some ghost students, okay, who just type in
Yeah. Like the
their
ghost.
name,
Yeah,
and
yeah, right.
they type in the ID, but they never show up to the class, okay?
Yeah, but with the rest, it's pretty much fine. Okay, it was like I also did like a feedback in this week for the evaluations,
Very good.
so it was cool. Okay, all the guys who really enter to the class and are every day, it was really cool to working with them.
Excellent. Jose, and what level do you teach? Or what levels are you teaching?
The beginners, and I think the other is step up four, where I work with the step up four. I think it's
Okay.
3 or 4. I'm not really sure.
Okay. Very good. Excellent. So, Manuel, tell me, Manuel, how was your week, Manuel?
Um, is it hearing?
Yes,
Did you hear me?
exactly. Very good.
Thank
Good.
you. Thank you. This week, I think we had a progress about the pronunciation part, about
Good.
the memorizing part. So we have little issues in the pronunciation. So it's giving an accent that is not the accent. So we are trying to correct this part. But apart of that, that was a very good week. I think it was the great week.
Very good.
So thanks for asking.
Excellent, Manuel. Manuel, how many classes are you teaching? How many groups do you have?
I have a group at
Okay.
7 and 8 p.m., one
Okay.
group. So I'm doing my best to give them the best that I can do. So they know and they are trying to make it better every time. So I'm glad of them. I'm so proud of them.
Okay. Okay. What book is that? Book one, book two,
Step one.
step one. Good. Okay. So, Manuel, with Vanguardia, you only have one group.
Um, Again, please.
Yes. With Vanguardia, do you only have one group?
Yes.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. Very good, very good. Okay, 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 Manuel. Manuel, and do you teach in any other school?
Yes. On the weekends and in the morning, I'm teaching. So another part. So I'm doing here now.
Ah, okay, okay. And what about the rest of the week?
The rest of the week, I'm trying to make the time to plan my classes so I can give them better.
Ah, okay, okay. Very good, excellent, very good, okay. Excellent, Manuel. Manuel, and does it happen to you the same? For example, what did you do, Manuel, last Monday? I mean,
Last,
did you teach them or did you give them extra homework in order to recover the lesson for Monday?
yes, I give them recovering.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
They were practicing. So the next day, Tuesday, that's the part when we started. So that
Ah,
was
okay, okay. Very good, very good, okay. Excellent. Because I worked on Monday, but Jose had a great plan, okay, a great idea, okay, about recovery the lessons. I think it's a good strategy. Mhm. Very good, friends. Okay, so listen, I'm going to share the activity with you. Okay, look at this. Today I prepared this for you. Okay, I'm going to share it on the WhatsApp group. There it goes. Okay. Okay. It's also on a Wavelet file. Okay. And it's there. Okay. If you click on the link, my friends, you will be able to see these activities. Okay. For example, this. Here it says lesson planning. It says what is a good lesson plan. So I prepared several activities for you. Okay. One is like this. Okay. Key components of a good lesson plan. Okay. So let's check it again. If you click on the file, you will see it says clear learning objectives. It says start by defining what your students should be able to do by the end of the lesson. Use SMART criteria, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Example, by the end of this lesson, a student will be able to write a 150-word paragraph describing their daily routine using present simple tense. Number two, engaging warm-up activity. Begin with 5 or 10 minute activity to grab attention and activate prior knowledge. Example, show a short video clip of someone's daily routine and ask students to guess what the person does for a living. Presentation of new material. Introduce a topic or skill in a clear and structured way. Use visuals, examples, and real-life context. Example, this is the present simple tense by explaining its structure, subject plus verb, and provide an example like I wake up at 7 in the morning, she works in an office. And then you have to move on to guided practice. Allow your students to practice a new skill with support. This could be a group activity, a worksheet, or an interactive online exercise. Example, have students complete a fill in the blank exercise using the present simple tense. Independent practice. Let the students apply what they have learned on their own. This builds confidence and reinforces understanding. Example, ask students to write their own paragraph about their daily routine using the simple present tense. And then assessment feedback. It says check for understanding through quizzes, peer reviews, or teaching feedback. For example, use an online quiz like a Hoot to test their knowledge of the present simple tense. Wrap up and reflection. Summarize the key points of the lesson and give students a chance to reflect on what they have learned. Example, ask students to share one thing they found easy and one thing they found challenging about the lesson. Homework extension activity, assign a task that reinforces the lesson and encourages the independent learning. Example, ask students to record a short video describing their weekend plans using the present simple tense and share it on Fieldgrid. Here, friends, have you ever used this tool, Fieldgrid? Do you know it? Have you ever had a chance to explore Fieldgrid? What about Jose?
I think I've seen Kahoot, but I never like try it.
Okay. And what about Fieldgrid? Not neither. No. Okay. What about Manuel? Manuel, have you ever used Fieldgrid, Manuel?
Um, on the university, maybe I've see it, but I saw it, but I never worked with it.
Okay. Okay. But listen, Fieldgrid is a tool in which students can record videos. Okay, and they can share the videos, okay, on the platform. The tool is closed only for the students, so it means that they need a special account to access Fieldgrid. This account has to be from a academy, from a school. So it's not with Gmail or Outlook or Hotmail. In the past, yes, he was able to use it, okay, with any account. But now it's close to educational accounts provided by Microsoft. Okay, now it's closed. Okay, it's a great tool. Why? Because in the platform they could share videos. They could answer the videos by writing, I don't know, a message, or by liking or unliking the videos, or responding to videos by making or by recording another video. Okay, for now it's closed. Okay, good. Hello, Oscar. Good afternoon, Oscar. How are you? Welcome, Oscar.
Hello, teacher. I'm sorry, I can talk a lot because I am traveling by bus. But
Okay. Okay, very good. Okay. Don't worry. Okay, very good. Okay, so we are here. Okay, look at this. Welcome. Okay. Okay, now let's continue. Okay. Yes. Obviously, it says incorporate technology into your lesson plan. It says here is how you can make your lesson plan even more dynamic with technology. It says warm up. Use a tool like Mentimeter to create a live work cloud where students share verbs related to their routines. Presentation. Use Google Slides or Canva to create visually appealing slides with animations and examples. Guided practice. Use an interactive platform like Nearbot to create a collaborative activity where students drag and drop verbs into sentences. Independent practice. Assign a writing task on Google Docs and use Grammarly to provide instant feedback. This Grammarly is paid, okay? So, or it also offers a free version, but it's very short, okay? Assessment. Use Quizlet to create a flashcard set for vocabulary review or quizzes for a fun gamified quiz. Wrap up. Use Padlet to create a virtual exit ticket where students post one thing they learned and one question they still have. Okay. So this is like an example, my friends, of the structure of a good lesson plan. The question is, what about let's say Jose? Jose, do you write the lesson plans for Vanguardia classes? If
Yeah,
so,
I do.
if
I use a format like a standard format.
better.
Okay, based on the contents that we were provided of,
Okay.
and then I like adjust the activities according to the level or according to my students, and I also try to plan like weekly. Okay,
Okay.
like weekly, and then I'm along the week I'm modifying depending on the advance of the students,
Better.
because sometimes some activities don't work, so I intend to change them in order to be more like active or more appealing for them.
Very good. Okay. Jose. Okay. Jose. Jose, how many students do you have per group on average?
Average it's supposed to be 15, but mostly they are like 10
All
that
right.
are connected for real.
Okay, 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 okay. Jose, and who do you share your lesson plan with? Or is it just for yourself?
No, it's only for myself.
Ah, okay, 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 okay. Well, Manuel, do you write a lesson plan, Manuel, for your classes? I mean, for your Vanguardia classes?
Yes, I do. I have a plan. So I try to make the contents about the program. So let's say what's the next topic. So I try to prepare about the materials that we can found. So I try to research on the internet. So some books from another countries, maybe, and some students' books that make me feel like I'm trying to use it. So I make an adjustments to make them clear. So this is the part. I get the material, so I work in it. So I teach them. I try to
Okay,
use it.
very good, Manuel. Manuel, how many students do you have in Vanguardia?
Um, I have with fifth, five, six,
Five
maybe.
students. Five students. Very good. Okay, okay. Oscar, I know you are traveling, Oscar, so you just write there on the chat here from me, Oscar, if possible. If you write your lesson plans, Oscar, yes or no. Uh, in case of yes, who do you say it with, Oscar?
In this case, sure, I base my lesson plan on each book,
Very good.
uh, but I propose adding other topics. For example, in if I remember, in the four level, uh, we checked the conditional, um, zeros, first, second, and third conditional.
Very good.
I propose other topic, for example, imaginary situation. It's similar topic because we use a case structure with, for example, if I own, or I imagine I could, and we add a similar topic of conditional. So I work with the topic that Vanguardia proposed in its book, but I add other ones.
Okay, okay, okay. Very good. Very good. Okay, okay. Okay, man. So listen. So homework for by the end of this session, my friends, please share one lesson plan with me. Okay, whichever you want to. Please share your lesson plan, okay, with me there on the WhatsApp group. If you want to send the lesson plan individually, please write to me on the WhatsApp. Okay. Very good, friends. Okay. So listen. Look at this. Okay. Here. Okay. Let's continue. Okay. I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay. There it goes. Okay. This was the first part, which is key components of a good lesson planning. Was a generally speaking, okay, about lesson planning. Okay. Okay, we will continue with this later on. Okay, so now let's watch this video. Okay, I took the video from internet. Okay, and let's see. Okay, there it goes. Okay. Can you listen to the video, friends? Yes or no?
Yes, sure.
Yes. Okay, very good. There it goes. Okay. Ah, let me. Okay. Okay. So. Yes, yes, Manuel. Yes, sure. Tell me. Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't have the sound.
I what?
I can hear them.
No, you can't. Okay, very good. Okay, don't worry.
I can't.
Very good. Okay, wait a minute. Very good. There it goes. Okay. Okay, very good. Okay, there it goes. Okay, don't worry. Okay, very good. Let me. Good. Okay. Okay, I will change the way to present. Okay, there you go. Okay, data.
Elements of a good lesson plan. Teaching is much more likely to be successful when guided by a clear and complete lesson plan. The key elements of a good lesson plan include objectives, timing, sequencing, differentiation, assessment, and materials. The first important question you should ask when designing a lesson plan is, what will students learn in this lesson? Think about the specific knowledge, skills, awareness, and language you want students to learn in the lesson. Make the objectives reasonable and attainable. That is, make sure that the objectives can be reached within the time you have for the lesson. In order to know if a lesson's objectives are reached, the objectives need to describe something that can be measured. Because of this, a lesson plan objective should describe behavior that can be observed. Good lesson plan objectives describe what students should be able to do after the lesson, not what they will know. So, for example, an objective of this current lesson is for readers to know the key elements of a good lesson plan. To word this in a way that can be observed and measured, we can say that after this lesson, participants will be able to describe the 6 key elements of a good lesson plan. Sequencing describes what will happen during the lesson, the order in which it happens, and how you will transition between activities and to the next lesson. Considerations for sequencing could include when is the best time to do a certain activity, and what is a logical but meaningful way to organize the lesson. The sequencing of a lesson should support the lesson's learning objectives. Many lessons follow this structure: warm-up, introduction to the class topic, presentation of material, 1 or more activities for students to practice, evaluation of the practice, and application to a relevant activity. We want learners to be able to apply their new knowledge and skills to authentic, real-world situations. One of the best ways to achieve this is by slowly removing the teacher as a director. Activities early in a lesson should include more direct guidance from the teacher. As the lesson progresses, learners should be given more independence. At the same time, we are moving students from more surface-level memorization and identification tasks to higher-level interactions with lesson material, such as applying, analyzing, and synthesizing. While it is important to be flexible when teaching, it is also important to estimate how long each part of the lesson will take. This will help organize activities and determine what is possible to do in a lesson. Never forget that learning takes time. Make sure to give your students plenty of time to process an activity or engage in new learning. You will have a variety of students in your classroom. How will you support students who need extra help and students who need to be challenged more? When writing your lesson plan, make sure to include details about student interaction. For example, will they be doing pair work, individual work, group work, or be listening to the teacher presenting information? Make sure that your lesson includes a balance of interaction during the class, as this can help with differentiation and create a learning environment that is productive for multiple learning styles. Providing detailed notes in a lesson plan regarding what challenges students might have and how you might avoid or lessen the impact of these challenges can help a teacher adapt for differentiation. For assessment of student learning, how will you know what students have learned? How will you know if the learning objectives were met? Will you ask your students comprehension questions? Will there be a short presentation, drills, a short quiz, a written assignment, or a group activity where students must use new learning to complete the task? For assessment of the overall lesson, do you leave time at the end of the lesson to gather feedback? Is there a space for you to take notes on the lesson plan? After each class, try to find the time to reflect on the lesson and identify what worked and what did not. In order to implement a good lesson, you need to know what materials will be necessary. This can include books, pens, handouts, and so on. Making sure to obtain the necessary materials before class is important, as it saves time and helps teachers feel more prepared. Now that we have looked at the 6 essential elements of a good lesson plan, your next step is to take a comprehension quiz, which will not only help you review these concepts, but also think through why these 6 elements should be included in a lesson plan. Here are the references used for this presentation.
Excellent. So that's a good question, friends. How do you make sure that your students really learn the lesson? What about Manuel? What techniques, Manuel, or what techniques do you use for you as a teacher to be sure that they really learn, for example, the simple past or the past continuous or the simple present, Manuel?
Well, that's the part that we've been working on. So I make questions. So is any question to hear? So if there are no questions, I make this example. For example, if I get this sentence, how do we change? Is there anything that should be changed, or is it everything right? Through the sharing screen, they can see what are they doing. So I'm hearing, I'm typing the answer that they are giving me, so they all can see what they all are doing. I
Good.
think is one of the methods that are giving me results.
Very good. Okay, okay.
Thank you.
But what about Jose? Jose, how do you make sure that your students really learned the lesson? Maybe you were teaching present simple, affirmative or negative. How do you make sure, how do you certify that they really learned?
Okay, for example, previous days we were seeing like the family members, so and also the verb to be and the possessives. And I mean, like, okay, start like presenting yourself and present someone else of your family. Okay, and then I do like a round for everybody in the session. Like, okay, now choose someone else. Okay, and present yourself and ask him, like, how many brothers do you have, or repeat information do you that your classmate said. Okay, and that's why I'm checking that they already are acquiring the vocabulary and also that they are like performing correctly.
Very good. Okay. What about Oscar? Oscar, if you can please tell us, Oscar, how do you make sure, Oscar, that your students really learn the lesson?
In this case, then we check, for example, time expression, structuring affirmative, negative, and question. And I ask them that make maybe a short story about their family, activity that they, for example, in present simple, they doing every day in the past simple, maybe sentence that they do yesterday or
Okay, okay, okay,
yesterday.
okay.
And we check some recordings and then even try in the case some verbs and sentence
Okay.
in each tense.
Very good. Yes. Okay, okay, okay. For example, Manuel, what do you do, Manuel, when you find, Manuel, or let's say that you find that a student or some student didn't get the lesson? For example, if you were teaching, for example, a simple present negative, yeah, and they start producing it like he don't works late or she isn't work late. What do you do, Manuel?
Well, that's a very good question. I recently had a little a little trouble, could say, with this part. So I think that is the most important part, to take it easy, to take it slowly. So it's not working this way. Let's try another way. So, for example, the part that I think that give them more, make them feel so nervous is that all are hearing, so they don't want to make mistakes. Still, they are so terribly nervous. So
Exactly,
let's do
exactly,
it. You
exactly.
with me. Let's do it.
That is
I could say.
a good problem, okay, because most of the students are like shy and they don't want to participate because they are afraid of making mistakes. Okay. What about Jose? Jose, what do you do, Jose, when you find a student or some students who didn't get the lesson, who didn't understand the lesson? Like the example I said, okay, they start to produce sentences like I doesn't work or she isn't work late.
Okay, in the case they are doing that mistake, I wait maybe for the end of the lesson, or if they feel okay, I do it like in the moment, like now, okay, repeat again, okay, and I start over, okay, until they get it right. Okay, this is what I really works for me at this point. Like they repeat it until they recognize what they are doing wrong.
Very
First, it's like, you sure is that correct? Okay, read it again. You sure? No, one word is not correct. What
very
it could be? Okay, if they don't get it, I explain it again. Okay, until they do. Okay, now that I explained you again and again. Okay, now do it the sentence correctly.
Very good. Okay, okay, very okay. Okay, hello, Joanna. Welcome, Joanna. How are you, Joanna? Fine?
I'm good, thank you. Good
Excellent,
afternoon to
excellent. Good
all.
afternoon. So, Joanna, we're speaking about when you, as a teacher, Joanna, it is meant that you were teaching, for example, the simple present, okay? The simple present negative, okay?
Okay.
By the end of the lesson, Joanna, you discovered that some students didn't get the goal. They just have to produce sentences like he don't works late or she is or she are eat apples every day. What do you do, Joanna, with those students? How do you help them
Okay.
to make sure and for you as a teacher to know that they really learned the goal?
Um, First, I do some activity to know if my students really know about what I'm talking. And second, if I identify that somebody don't understand, I explain that again, but in another way.
Okay,
Example, if I do something, some activity maybe in the board, I try to do it now with I don't know, maybe screens, maybe music sometimes help me, or giving examples in the present in the room and tell them, or in this case in video class, giving examples with my things. I have things to do this because I have this problem um, all the time, actually.
very good.
So I give my students this feeling that it's okay be wrong, it's okay make mistakes, it's okay in all the process to learn a new language. Um, I mean, it's okay be not okay. And
Okay,
that's the
okay,
first thing that I try to listen to the guys, that they know that it's okay to be wrong. Because if you're wrong, you will listen better, you will write better, you will do all better, because you will be
okay.
wrong, and
Very
that's
good, very good.
okay. That I'm in my personal point, that's the first thing that I talk with my students, and
Very
I
good.
try to all the time be better with them and show them in another way, or in the way they need the things, because it's not only how I think it's okay. I need to change it for them.
Very good. Okay, okay, okay. And Manuel, how many students do you have, Manuel, that you have identified as difficult students? Difficult in the sense that they seem not to get the goal. How many students have you found, Manuel, in your classes?
Well, I have two or maybe three cases when their pronunciation is not that correct as they want to be. So I try to make it so it's like they all say, uh, Antonio said, let's do it again. So don't worry, it's okay. The, the first and the strongest part is that you are learning. Try to remember that you're learning is something new for you. So let's do it slowly and take it time by time. And this this gave me good results. To
Okay.
to till today, it gave me good results.
And Manuel, do you give your students daily homework or not daily?
If the topic needs it, I do a reinforced part. So try to study it again, make it for the or prepare it for the next class.
Very good. Okay, okay. What about Jose? Jose, do you deliver daily homework or not daily homework?
No, not lately, because sometimes we reach to cover all the topics or all the pages, but in the case we can't, I leave in like the half or the homework. Like for example, if there we are solving 10 reactives, I leave them like the half.
Very
Okay, I help them with the half, and okay, you got the other half for homework.
very good.
But it's not daily. I think it's not daily. Maybe once or twice mostly.
Okay, once or twice a week. Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
What about Joanna? Joanna, do you deliver daily homework, Joanna, or not?
Actually, yes, because I only give class on Saturday, so
Ah,
I
okay,
need to
okay.
let them homework for all the week, because I only give classes one day, so it's very important
Very good.
have
Okay.
homework.
Joanna, and where do you work on from Monday to Friday? Or do
I'm
you study?
louder. I'm louder.
Ah,
I
you're
have
a
my own
lawyer?
office,
Ah, okay, 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 okay. So,
so
okay, okay. Oh, interesting. So you are a lawyer and English teacher.
yes.
Very good, Joanna.
And weekend I'm English teacher, and in the week I'm a louder.
A lawyer, okay. And Joanna, which profession do you like the best?
I think both, because I give English classes, like I start to give them when I have maybe 20. Now I'm 31, so I have a lot of time. But I do this only with my family and friends, and now I started in school, so it's different, but it's a different good.
Very good. Okay, okay. So listen, I'm going to show you what I do with them. Okay, look at this. When I was studying, look at this. I'm going to share my screen. There it goes. Okay. When I was studying my master degree in education, the project for the thesis was this. Okay, to develop a tool, okay, a digital tool in which students could practice English daily according to the lessons. So if in the lesson, okay, we were practicing, for example, simple present, affirmative or negative, here on the platform, okay, they had to find activities to reinforce that knowledge. For example, here, okay, students have to log in with that account that I provide them. For example, let's see, Arturo. Arturo Valor is one of my students, okay? He or she has to write the user and the password, okay? And then click here, okay? And here, for example, we were practicing, okay, use of have has, verb to be in present, and some verbs, okay? Also, we were practicing possessive adjectives, okay, and genitive apostrophe s. So here students have to answer daily. For example, Arturo hasn't answered all his activities, okay? Why? Because he has 2 weeks, okay, of no answer from February 11 to February 14, and then from February 17 to February 21, okay? So here they know that they have to log in daily and they have to answer the activities. For example, look at this. I'm going to here click on answer. Okay. And here is obviously he needs to read the question. For example, identify the correct option to complete the sentence. He knows the Eskimo use a spear to fight the tiger and protect family. He, so according to the sentence, okay, is this one, okay? Yes, okay. So he clicks on the correct answer and then click on answer, okay? And then the platform will show him the second question 2 out of 6. Here I can change to English. For example, question 2 out of 6. Identify the correct sentence, okay? Look at this. That, well, here she has to look at the image, okay? And here is, obviously, he has to practice, okay, possessive apostrophe s. This, okay? That is William's apartment. All of the other are incorrect, okay? So he needs to answer here, okay? And then he has now the question number 3. We live in a town. Town is called Hamlin. Okay? So here, obviously, or, okay? And what happened if students didn't get the correct answer? For example, I'm going to answer randomly. For example, I'm going to answer this one, okay? And then click on answer. The platform shows him some feedback. So I ask him to read the feedback, okay, make notes on the feedback, and then on next class, okay, I identify the questions that he or she answered incorrectly, and based on the feedback, okay, I provide some reinforcement for them. For example, okay, let's click on it, okay. So here, name is action, okay, is miss, name, need, like, okay. Let's imagine that the student answered, I don't know, okay. So he clicks here on I don't know. And also the platform provides him or provides her, okay, with a short feedback about that topic, okay? Okay, I will continue answering. For example, what activity is this, okay? Look at here, some voice, okay, like playing or enjoying, okay? Or, okay, here is this one, okay? Okay, and look at that, okay? So here is again the question. When the students click on I don't know, okay, the platform provides the feedback, and then later on, the platform shows the same question to the students, okay? So here's really like and answer. At the end of each activity, okay, he or she will get her score. Here, for example, he got 83% on 16% incorrect, okay? So he has to come here to start. And something good for them and for me, okay, I can check here, okay, temas vistos. And here, friends, we have all of the topics that the students have been practicing. We have the competencia, the aprendizaje, and the topic. Green topics are topics that he or she knows very well. Yellow topics are in progress of being learned, okay. Look at this. Red topics are topics that he or she needs to work harder. So in this way, my friends, my students know that they have to do their activities, have to answer the activities every day. And in that way, I can track their learning. I can track their progress. So I also provide them with homework, okay, as you do, but I also create a special account for them to access the platform. And here, okay, obviously, I can track their learning. And based on evidence, I tell them, okay, you know, during this week, we have been working, for example, on apostrophe S and the possessive, and you didn't get it. Okay? Why? Because here is the evidence, okay? Look at this. This is from the student side. From the teacher side, look at this. I'm going to show you the, the account from the teacher. Look at this. Okay, here, okay. This is my panel as a teacher, okay? For example, okay, here we have, look at this. Let's see, last week. I think that here they haven't been answering the questions, okay? That's why I cannot see anything here. For example, okay? For example, okay? Here they have their scores, okay? Or daily scores, what they have gotten. For example, on February 4, they got 8.9. On February 5, okay, 8.9, and so on. For example, on February 7, it was high, it was 10, okay? It meant that all of the students got all the answers correctly, okay? Also, here I have a ranking, like a ranking from the best student, okay, to the lowest student. For example, let's see, Arturo. Wait, Arturo Betren, Karen. Here, for example, this one, okay. For example, here we have students who have gotten 10 on a score. And for example, look at Arturo, or look at a lower band. Let's see, for example, Tanya, she got 6.6, okay? I'm going to see why did she get this, okay? And here we have the evidence, okay? Tanya has many problems with have on has, okay? That's why she is the lowest, okay? Why? Because this topic is supposed to be super easy, and the AI in the platform finds that topic is easy, and that's why it has a highest score. Okay? So here they know that they have to answer every day, and they have to train English every day. So I told them that this is not part of Vanguardia. This was my project, okay, as a student of a master degree. So now that I'm student a doctoral degree, I ask them, please answer your activities in that way. I will know the evidence. My hypothesis is that the platform helps you to practice and to improve your English, okay? But if you don't answer, I will have no evidence on that stuff, okay? Very good, okay? So, but yes, it's difficult as a teacher to have the students do homework, okay? Especially there on the platform. I can track their learning every day, and I can know who has answered and who hasn't answered. But yes, it is difficult. Okay, I don't know why students are reluctant to do homework. Okay, okay. What about, for example, Manuel? What do you do with students who don't deliver homework, Manuel? What do you strategy, Manuel, with them?
I'm not trying to make a punishment because that's not the idea that I think that it worked the most. But I try to make it participate a little more. It's like you didn't do on yesterday. Now your punishment is do it in front of the class. So you have the chance to make it. You have the chance to do it. You have the chance to make me questions. If you don't get it, the topic, you could make me questions. You didn't do so. The results are this.
Very good. Okay. Okay. What about Jose? Jose, how do you cope with the students who don't do the homework, Jose?
Okay. The problem I have with the students that don't homework is the students that don't connect or are not connected to the class. Because I can tell anything besides that they are not in the class. I don't know, but with the kids, well, with the guys I'm working with, most of them are doing all the assessment and all the homework.
All right.
It's
okay.
maybe only like one or two, but maybe because they didn't understand well, and they send me like a private message and ask me for doubts. But most of the students who get into the class are doing it.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Very good. Okay. Okay. Well, before we go, I want to show you another video. Okay. I prepared for you. Look at this. There it goes. Okay. Okay. There it goes. Okay.
Roadmap. It's a detailed guide for a specific lesson. Think of it like a blueprint for a house. It outlines the structure and flow of your teaching. Lesson plans are essential for effective teaching. They help you stay organized and focused. A well-crafted lesson plan ensures you cover all necessary material. With a clear plan, you can create a more engaging learning experience for your students. This leads to better achievement. A good lesson plan starts with clear learning objectives. These objectives serve as a roadmap for both the teacher and the students, guiding the direction of the lesson and ensuring that everything. Without clear objectives, lessons can become unfocused and students may struggle to understand the purpose of the activities they are engaging in. These objectives should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, often abbreviated as SMART. Specific objectives clearly define what is to be learned. Measurable objectives allow for assessment of progress. Achievable objectives ensure that the goals are realistic. Relevant objectives align with broader educational goals, and time-bound objectives set a clear time frame for achievement. They tell you what students should know or be able to do by the end of the lesson. This clarity helps students focus their efforts and understand the importance of the lesson content. When students know what is expected of them, they are more likely to stay engaged and motivated throughout the lesson. For example, a learning objective for an English grammar lesson might be, students will be able to identify and use present perfect tense correctly in sentences. This objective is specific because it focuses on a particular grammatical structure, measurable because students can be assessed on their ability to use the tense correctly, achievable because it is a realistic goal for the lesson, relevant because it is an important aspect of English grammar, and time-bound because it is to be achieved by the end of the lesson. Having clear objectives helps you stay focused on what's important. It allows you to plan your lesson activities and assessments in a way that directly supports the learning goals. This focus ensures that every part of the lesson is purposeful and contributes to the overall learning outcomes. It also helps students understand the purpose of the lesson and what they are expected to learn. When students are aware of the learning objectives, they can take more responsibility for their own learning. They can track their progress and identify areas where they need to improve. This understanding fosters a more collaborative and effective learning environment, where both teachers and students are working towards the same goals. A warm-up activity is like an appetizer before a meal. It gets students ready to learn. It should be engaging and relevant to the lesson topic. For vocabulary building, you could start with a word game. Show pictures related to the lesson's theme. Ask students to guess the words. Another effective warm-up is a quick review. Ask questions about the previous lesson. This helps activate prior knowledge and makes connections to new material. The presentation stage is where you deliver the main content of the lesson. Use clear and concise language. Break down complex information into smaller, manageable chunks. Visual aids like diagrams and charts can make abstract concepts more concrete. For example, use a timeline to illustrate the different tenses in English. Real-world examples and stories help students connect with the material on a personal level. Share a short anecdote that demonstrates the use of a specific grammar rule. Section 5. Active Learning in Action, Guided and Independent Practice. Practice makes perfect. Provide opportunities for both guided and independent practice. Guided practice allows students to apply new knowledge with your support. You can use worksheets, group activities, or online quizzes for guided practice. For independent practice, assign homework or projects that allow students to work at their own pace. Encourage creativity and critical thinking in their practice activities. For instance, have students write a short story using the grammar rules they learned. Section 6. Measuring success, assessment, and feedback. Assessment helps you measure student learning. It tells you what worked well and what needs improvement. Use a variety of assessment methods such as quizzes, tests, presentations, and projects. Feedback is crucial for student growth. Provide timely and specific feedback that helps students understand their strengths and areas for improvement. Use rubrics to provide clear expectations for assignments. Encourage self-assessment and peer feedback to foster a culture of continuous learning. Section 7. Technology integration, enhancing every step. Technology can enhance every stage of your lesson plan. Use online tools and resources to create more engaging and interactive learning experiences. For warm-up activities, try using online platforms like Kahoot or Quizzes. These platforms allow you to create fun and interactive quizzes that get students excited to learn. For presentations, use presentation software like Google Slides or Prezi to create visually appealing slides. Embed videos, images, and audio to make your presentations more dynamic. Section 8. The power of reflection. A continuous cycle of improvement. Reflection is an essential part of the lesson planning process. It allows educators to take a step back and critically analyze their teaching methods and strategies. By dedicating time to reflect, teachers can identify what aspects of their lessons were successful and which areas need improvement. This practice not only enhances the quality of education, but also fosters a growth mindset among educators. After each lesson, take some time to reflect on what worked well and what you could improve. Consider the dynamics of the classroom, the engagement level of the students, and the effectiveness of the instructional materials used. Reflecting on these elements can provide valuable insights that inform future lesson planning and teaching practices. Ask yourself questions like, did the students achieve the learning objectives? Were the instructional strategies effective in conveying the lesson content? How did the students respond to different activities and assignments? These questions can guide your reflection process and help you pinpoint specific areas for improvement. Were the activities engaging and effective? Did they cater to the diverse learning styles and needs of the students? Evaluating the engagement level of your activities can help you design more interactive and inclusive lessons that capture the interest of all students. How can I improve this lesson for next time? Consider seeking feedback from colleagues or even from the students themselves. Collaboration with fellow educators can provide new perspectives and ideas that you might not have considered. Additionally, student feedback can offer a direct insight into their learning experience and highlight areas that need adjustment. Use your reflections to make adjustments to your lesson plans and teaching strategies. This might involve modifying the content, changing the delivery method, or incorporating new resources and technologies. The goal is to create a more effective and engaging learning environment for your students. Continuous improvement is key to becoming a more effective educator. By embracing a cycle of reflection and adjustment, you can continually enhance your teaching practices and contribute to the academic success and personal growth of your students. Remember, the journey of improvement is ongoing, and each step forward brings you closer to becoming the best educator you can be. Section 9. Empowering educators, embracing technology for effective teaching. A well-structured lesson plan is the foundation of effective teaching. It serves as a roadmap that guides both the teacher and the students through the learning journey. By having a clear plan, teachers can ensure that they cover all necessary material, stay on track, and make the most of their time in the classroom. This not only helps in maintaining a structured environment, but also allows for flexibility to adapt to the needs of the students. It helps you stay organized, focused, and ensures that your students are learning and growing. When students see that their teacher is prepared and organized, it sets a positive example and encourages learning seriously. Moreover, a well-prepared lesson plan can help in identifying potential challenges and finding ways to address them before they become obstacles. Embrace technology as a valuable tool to enhance your lesson plans, engaging learning experiences for your students. Technology offers a plethora of resources that can make lessons more interactive and enjoyable. From educational apps to online resources, the possibilities are endless. By integrating technology into your teaching, you can cater to different learning styles and keep students engaged. Remember, teaching is a journey of continuous learning and improvement. Professional development is crucial for staying updated with the latest educational trends and technologies. Attending workshops, reading educational materials, and participating in training sessions can provide new insights and strategies that can be implemented in the classroom. This not only benefits the teacher, but also enhances the learning experience for the students. By embracing best practices and utilizing the power of technology, you can empower your students to reach their full potential. Technology can be a game changer in education, providing tools that can make learning more accessible and effective. As educators, it is our responsibility to stay informed and make the best use of these tools to create a dynamic and inclusive learning environment. In doing so, we not only enhance our teaching, but also inspire our students to become lifelong learners.
Excellent. So I think that next week, okay, we're going to study and practice, okay, one of the tools that I use with them, okay, which is technology, okay, in order to create digital portfolios, okay. Next week, I will show you some of the examples that they have created, okay, during my classes, and they have shared these portfolios among them, and they have given feedback among them, okay? So thank you very much, okay, Jose, Manuel, and Oscar for being here today. Please have a great weekend, okay, and see you next Friday. Thank you very much. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you all.
Okay, you
Thank
too. Bye-bye. Take
Bye.
care,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
See you.